People have been seeing lights at the old places for as long as the old places have stood. Not modern lights, not aircraft. Spheres of light, moving with what can only be described as intention, appearing over stone circles, along the old ridgeways, at the mouths of ancient barrows. They are in the medieval records. They are in the folklore. They were here long before anyone had a word for them. The oldest accounts do not describe them as frightening. They describe them as familiar. In the Celtic traditions of these islands, lights seen moving across the landscape at night were understood to mark the paths. The old paths. The trackways that connected hilltop to hilltop, sacred site to sacred site. The routes that walkers did not choose at random, but followed because something in the land made them feel right. The lights moved along these routes as though they knew them. What your modern world calls will-o-wisps, the old world called by names that carried respect rather than fear. Fairy fire, the corpse candle, the fetch light. Each name pointed at the same thing, a light that moved with purpose, that appeared at threshold moments and threshold places. Your science has explanations for some of these. Methane, bioluminescence, atmospheric plasma. These explanations account for perhaps a fraction of what has been recorded across centuries of careful witness. Here is what those explanations do not account for. These lights appear consistently along landscape alignments, the same routes that ancient peoples marked with standing stones, with barrows, with holy wells. A coincidence would show random distribution. What has actually been documented across centuries is concentration. The lights follow the lines. They appear at the nodes, the crossing points, the places where two or more alignments meet. Whatever they are, they understand the geometry of this land better than most people living on it. At Glastonbury tour, orbs have been filmed and witnessed by hundreds of separate observers over decades. People who did not know one another and were not searching for the same thing. At Avebury, the largest stone circle in Britain, the reports reach back into the 18th century and earlier. At Clay Hill in Wiltshire, at the Rollright Stones in Oxfordshire, at the Callanish stones in the Outer Hebrides. Always at the places the old builders chose. Always at the nodes. I have walked these lands since before the stones were raised. I will tell you what I know. These lights are not random. They are not hallucination. They are not easily explained by gas or mineral or atmospheric accident. They are, in the most honest description I can offer, presences. Not human, not threatening. Old, in a way that makes these standing stones look recent. They come to this land because this land has always drawn them. The old builders knew that. It is why they built where they built. What does this mean for you? It means that the conversation your world is having right now about non-human intelligence is not new. Your ancestors were having it. They built their answers into the landscape in stone, and those stones still stand. The old paths are still there. The lights still appear at them. If you want to understand what is arriving in your sky right now, you might begin with what has never left your land. This is what we go into inside the community. The actual sites, the documented reports across history, the methods for finding and walking these alignments yourself, and what people consistently encounter when they do. The land is not passive in this. It has never been passive. Everything I speak of here, we take further inside the community. The link is in my bio and below this video in the description.